we are going to learn all about the paint splash and how to capture it. You don't need all the fancy equipment. You don't need to learn how to speed drop your paint. Half the fun is getting the splash at the perfect time, knowing that you did it yourself. I want to introduce you to a couple special pieces of equipment that I do have. The first thing that I want to show you is my arm. This is a Manfrotto. On this side, I actually have like a tripod plate. Other side, what I do is I have a clamp. This is an all-purpose clamp. I use this clamp for everything. When I'm outside and I need to use my reflector and I'm by myself, I can actually put the reflector in here, hook it to a tree, hook it to a light stand, or put it on my arm. You're gonna see this later in the setup. I just wanted to introduce it to you. It makes you much more independent as a photographer. You don't need an assistant. This is your assistant. Paint. You can go with just about any kind of paint. A paint that you don't have to worry about getting on your clothes. I'm not wearing nice clothes today because we are having fun with this. We're gonna actually water this down too. It's kind of thick. We need to thin it out, and that's part of the testing process. One of these plastic dabbers. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I think there were 12 for $2, and you can use them over and over and over again. Pot? I call it the eyedropper. They understood what I meant. Using the tray, I actually hold it this way, and I actually had the drops come on here, and they overflowed, so it kind of looked like a waterfall because my camera angle was right here. But I just finally found white tile, pure white tile. I'm gonna use one for the backsplash, one for the bottom. If it doesn't work out so well, we'll bring this back. Obviously, this is gonna be making a mess. So I'm going to take you to this little counter right next to my sink in my kitchen. It's a little bit of patience and a little bit of work, a little bit of give and take, but once you've got it, you can just keep rattling them off. All right, so let's go to the kitchen and get started. Getting excited? I am. I've got my bib on, I'm all covered up. I'm ready to get dirty and play and have some fun. This is the setup. Here's the arm that I talked to you guys about. I actually have it clipped up to my cabinet with the claw. I have my flash hooked up here. This flash is going to go directly onto the tile. Remember I told you I bought some tile. This is the white tile, just glossy tile. It's really important that the flash is where you need it to be. And what I mean by that is you need it to go as quickly as possible because the flash is what's going to stop the action. So I actually have this one set up at 1/64. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we're going to be doing a lighting class as well somewhere down the line. But this flash I have at 1/64, so it's going to go really great, really quick. It's actually going to go to the backdrop, and what I wanted to do is actually saturate the white. I want it to be blown out. Reason being, when the drops come here and this is blown out, I'm going to be able to manipulate it a little bit in my computer afterwards if I need to. The goal is not to do that. This is where I also have the dropper set ready to go. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I took the blue paint and I filled it up to about here. I'd say a little less than half of the blue paint. Just filled the rest with water, mixed it up with the straw, and it's ready to go. Hopefully it's the right consistency. So what we're gonna do is just put it under here, fill it up, and put it down to the side for now. I've already gotten paint all over my hands just doing this. This is why it's so important that you use water-based paint. So here's my camera setup. You would think that I have a micro lens on. Surprise, I don't own a micro lens. I keep saying I'm waiting until retirement for that. So I actually have my 70 to 300 on here. I have it at about 75 millimeter. It's going to serve the purpose. It really is. I have a good distance from where we're shooting. I have my trigger flash or my master flash on going up. I don't want it directly on it, it's just going up. The last thing I want is the reflection of the light on the white background. So the other thing that I'm going to be using is my release cord. I love my tripod and my release cords. I will be over here dropping the paint and trying to shoot it and capture it at the same time. Okay, so this is how we're going to try to set this up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release 1 or 2 drops. Okay, and you saw where it splattered here. That's really close to my backdrop. I really didn't want it that close to the backdrop because it's just going to constantly go on it. So I have, like my support system, everybody needs a support system. This is why you want to be close to your sink. That blue drop was way too close to the backdrop. So we need this to stand up a lot more. Straight. We want it to be as white can be at the beginning. Let's try another drop. That's good. I like where that is. That's giving us a good 3 inches from the backdrop, from the back plate, I should say, and that looks really good. So what we have to do is actually focus where it's going to be dropping, and the best way to do that is to take a pen or the straw that I actually mixed the paint up with. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to go to my camera, I'm going to focus on that, then I am going to take my autofocus all to manual. We don't want it changing once we get it focused in. So here are the settings. I'm on manual, I have my ISO at 200, on 1/200, my f-stop is at 16 because we want to get a lot of the depth of field. What else can I tell you about this? My white balance is on flash. Let's see what we get when we take a picture right now without anything there. Okay, there you go. See all the white out or overexposed? That's actually what I want because it is going to be crisp, clean, and clear. Again, the blowout in the background is going to give me complete white. And then let's go back up here. So we know this is going to be white, 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 all down until we get to about here, which is where the splash is going to be, and then it starts getting a little gray. That's actually going to give us a bit of depth. Okay, we are going to squeeze and see if we can get anything. We're probably going to do a couple shots and then take a look and see if we're even coming close. It's just now timing. We got everything perfect. We know where we're going to go. Now let's just get the timing done. And I'm going to try so hard not to get blinded by these lights. I need more. I think this is going to be a little too watery. It's not holding the color as well. So I think I'm gonna dump some of this and put some more regular paint in. All right, let's see if we got anything. Okay, trial 1, what we had to change was the settings in the camera were all wonderful. Instead of it being level, I actually brought the camera up so it's a little bit higher. Actually, it's a lot higher. Last time I had it down here. Now it's up, facing down, going into the area that we're going to be doing the drops. Now I thickened up the paint a little bit. I cleaned off the backdrop and I left a lot of splatter on the bottom. I purposely left that there because I want it to look a little bit more exciting. I actually did a little texture with a napkin, so, you know, test and go. By the way, last time my apron was in all of the photos, so I got to step back a little bit further. Again, trial and go. So here we go. The paint is going to be a little bit thicker, so I think I've got a little bit more time to capture a splash. That would be a good one if we caught it. Went too fast that time. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that time came out really well. My timing's getting a little bit better. I'm getting drips in the middle of the air instead of hitting the ground, so I know with the thicker paint I have to wait a little bit longer for my trigger. So at this point I'm just going to play around and get my timing right. One thing I did do is I added a lot more paint down here, so when the new paint comes down there's more of a splash. So let's see what we get this time. We got a couple really good shots, but they're all blue and they're coming from on top. Now it's time to add a little bit more color. I got a little gold paint. So I'm going to leave all the blue here. I'm going to clean off the backdrop again. I'm going to add gold paint. One thing that I did do is I put pure water in the dropper. Had a glass of water, let the blue go in it, then soaked it all up with the blue and the water, and that's where I got the really good shots. So having thick down here and bringing real thin in worked like a charm. All right, guys, so we got a few good ones here in the camera. Okay, so there you have it. I took my time, took a lot of time, but it's fun. I mean, isn't this why we do photography? Just so we can like lose ourselves in our craft and get creative. Not one paint drop is going to be like the other. Adding different colors was fun. Finding the textures was fun. Getting the timing down got a little frustrating because I changed the thickness of the paint so many times. But it really worked out. I had a lot of fun. And you can have fun. I didn't buy major equipment. I did have the lights. If you don't have the strobe light, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you really need the light to freeze the action for you. Other than that, the arm that I used, you don't need it. You can come up with something. You can get creative, and that's what it's about. There's no reason to go out and spend hundreds of dollars for something that you're going to want to do for a day and then go and do a million other things because there's so much fun to have with our cameras. So for, again, a rainy day, a snowy day, a day that you just want to play, this is a fun thing to do. And with the 52-week challenge that I'm in, Jen, Kim, and Enora, there you go. Easy peasy. You can do this next time. We got plenty of challenges, but we have another 50 weeks to go. So I can't wait to see what you come up with. Please post, and if you want me to help or do another creative photo shoot, just write down below, email me, call me, text me, because the bottom line is, got it. You need to get it, got it, and good. Bye, guys.